Okay, well, I did it. I do not feel great about that. If I'm not sure if I kept it in or not, but like I said, I would have preferred not making a choice at all there.
Part 1.
Oh man, this is
White
gonna
flag.
hurt.
Lone Moon. Outset of a power struggle. Together, the people of Fodlan relish the beauty of the brilliant moon overhead as another year ends. They recall sad partings and new acquaintances alike, but each person must still walk their chosen path alone. With each day, the presence of spring grows stronger, and yet a lone moon still haunts the sky. A silent reminder, perhaps, of some inescapable truth.
So that's still the same. I can't help but feel like I just... What worried me is what Reyes...
We somehow managed to escape.
Like, you didn't do anything to convince them, though.
This is one of the Imperial Army's provisional camps. Here we can organize our forces.
This looked like the Abyss.
Before we go any further, I want all of you to really ask yourselves if you're certain you wish to join us. As expected, Flane has chosen to leave our ranks.
When I saw our professor running off, I ran about as fast as I could to catch up.
So me?
Caspar, death finds those who run without thinking. You gave no thought to the war fog.
I wouldn't have chosen this song, because honestly, this is a conflicting decision.
My grandfather was the leader of Bridget, and I hope for us to be allies with the Empire. I will be staying.
Okay, Petra, I wasn't a deciding factor.
Was this a good idea? Did I make the right choice?
Bernie, debatable, but I think she would have followed me regardless.
Oh, but my family is part of the Empire, and our professor is here.
She mentioned me.
You're fine here with us, Bernie. Though it's true certain houses were against the Imperial Princess.
Which ones?
I assume you're referring to my family.
Oh, yeah.
I must believe that the conclusion I came to was the correct one.
So you're not completely sure.
You are the Emperor now. I am the only one left who is qualified to guide you at this point.
So that's your take, okay?
I'm only here because I know it would be troublesome to stand against you.
Fair enough.
I'm not just here for you, Adi. I'm here to follow
Dang!
our dear professor.
Dang, Dorothy, okay!
Of course, I don't have any territory to offer, so Hubie may not even want me here.
The greater our numbers, the better. Your reasons for being here are of no consequence.
And I'm just here to see where this path lies.
I think I understand where you're coming from. But now, I wish to hear of your resolve. Like you, I have risen to meet my destiny. I cut this path, and I will see it through to the end.
Okay.
Following me is akin to pointing a sword at the goddess herself. One misstep, and we fall to our ruin.
Can we talk about the fact that I have Sothis' power in me? Like, is that not going to be a conversation?
You have now witnessed the Archbishop's true self. She is a cruel beast.
I mean, like I said, when I think about it, it's like I literally just... It's not as cut and dry as that for me. What I'm concerned about what she said is, you're just another failure. How has she been handling the people previous to me? And more importantly, what does that have to do with our mother? She seemed to care for her. And we died during childbirth. But why did that even come from her mouth?
Those who rule this world use that beast's power to fabricate miracles, all to control those who blindly believe in the goddess.
Okay.
They conceal the truth and force their lies on the nobility. They mercilessly annihilate anyone who defies them. I know this because I have lived it. After what you have seen, is there any room for doubt?
I mean, quite a bit. You're not mentioning the Agarthans at all, and their role, but...
The Church of Seros has great influence and power. Their control over the lords of the kingdom and the Alliance is nearly absolute.
That's what you think? What Claude was questioning. Darn it!
We are the only ones who can stop this indomitable enemy that has plagued our world for ages. We fight for humanity, for all of Fodlan.
I guess that's my thing. Claude and I always saw as having the same mind. Both of us were having questions. Both of us were like on the fence of things. We just wanted Edelgard to talk to us, and well, by the time, you know, that could have happened, we were already convinced because we had taken so many other people out on our way forward.
If you dare walk this path with me, take your first step. It's now or never. Thank you, my friends. We are the true face of the Empire, and we will triumph!
That was incredible, Lady Edelgard.
Thank you.
Am I here?
Honestly, I'm relieved. They really chose to follow me. I was resolved to move forward alone if I had to. But in my heart, I hoped it wouldn't come to that.
So long as I am here, you will never be alone. Please do not forget that. And it would seem that the Professor also has a key role to play in this.
How did Edelgard even talk to them after the war is over? I guess they just went back home and their choices were more cut and dry?
You're right. Now, I must speak with our dear teacher.
Yeah, please. Please, I've been hoping for something like this.
Please, make preparations. The messenger should be here shortly.
Consider it done.
Because I need more from what you just said than what you just said.
Professor, may I speak with you?
Please. Of course.
I appreciate it.
Yes? What's wrong?
I'm just anxious. It feels like the weight of this burden is crushing me. At this very moment, on my orders, I'm starting a war.
You are.
An army far larger than the one that attacked the Holy Tomb last month will soon be locked in battle.
Yes, and didn't we just kill a bunch of Imperial soldiers?
Long-devised strategies are unfolding across Fodlan. Leaders are deciding their loyalties and preparing to fight. So many generals and soldiers will die. It's inevitable that civilians will get caught up in the chaos as well.
That is true.
There will be countless casualties. With a single command, the flames of war will rage across all corners of this realm.
That is true.
And I am the one who is giving the order.
That is also true. This is the path you chose, isn't it?
Yes, it is. There is no turning back. No matter how much blood flows at my feet, I will not relent. We must break the bonds that the depraved church has placed on Fodlan.
But why not just capture, or not even capture, what's stopping you from just... Well, no, I know why.
These sacrifices will allow us to create a future where we never need sacrifice again. It may seem contradictory, but it's the only way.
And that's where I have the issue, Edelgard. Even if you do this, even if you do create an era of peace through your rule, there is a good chance that once you're gone, there's no guarantee, like, what, are you gonna have the same, are you gonna be in charge? For one, I heard a quote from Optimus Prime. You know, I think he was a very wise leader, but he said, I am a leader of wars, not governments. Almost wonder if that could apply, because I was kind of thinking that about Dimitri too, though he had been in training. I assume Edelgard had as well. Either way, that doesn't necessarily apply here. What I'm more so getting towards is, once she's gone and the people she puts into power through merit are gone, what then? There will always be people in any, but our governments are imperfect because humans created them, right? And there will always be some sort of flaw. Some type of person eventually will come through and be an issue, and then another war will happen again.
Listen to me. I made up my mind long ago. Yet here I am, seeking your approval.
I mean, I think I would have, you know, I'm here, you know?
Tell me the truth, my teacher. Are you happy with your decision to stay by my side?
Well, it no longer matters, right?
Unlike me, you can still walk away from all of this. This path leads to the death of the Archbishop and the servants of the Church. Can you live with that?
The fine servants of the Church. I chose this path too.
I never thought...
Don't do this.
I'm sorry, it was a foolish question. I believe in you, Professor. And you believed in me.
Well, I'm trying to see this thing out.
With that knowledge, I have the strength to keep fighting. Let's go. There's something I need to say to Hubert.
Okay.
Your Majesty, the latest report indicates that our main army is advancing as planned. Also, the preparations for your manifesto are almost complete.
I also will say that I can certainly see why people hate Rhea so much. If this is the first route you played, you follow Edelgard all the way through, and that's what you saw. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't even want to entertain any other ideas. Manifesto?
We will be distributing our manifesto to every lord within Fodlan.
And what's it say?
We will expose the dark side of the Church of Seros.
What?
And the foul practices of the nobles from the Kingdom and the Alliance. We will force the people of Fodlan to open their eyes to the truth and
What?
relinquish any remaining conviction to unite against the Empire.
I never heard anything about this. To every lord within Fodlan? You're talking about Claude too?
Certain nobles have already offered us their support.
Yes, there are other nobles who oppose the Church. We will condemn those who deserve condemnation, and forgive those who deserve forgiveness.
Does she do this in every but even so, he's still...
We have already purged some of the Imperial nobles who are morally rotten.
Your father and Ferdinand's father?
My father among them. How unfortunate.
Did they get the letter? Why didn't Claude mention... I mean, Seth mentioned it. He said a call was thrown out and people had to choose their sides. But all the deeds that they've done? What's this even say?
And soon we will invade and conquer Garreg Mach. Our main army has already departed the Imperial capital. They will arrive at the monastery in 2 weeks' time.
I mean, honestly, it makes sense, but none of the other routes even mentioned Edelgard doing this. You know how much that would have changed my mind on things?
There, we will join forces with them.
Because, no. The reason, I know why. It couldn't have been in the Golden Deer, and this is why. Because Claude still had the very same questions I had. So if Claude had those questions, yet this manifesto received him, or was received by him? No. You know what? It was received by the nobles. None of the students currently are, I think, her targets. In fact, I don't even think they could circulate it through Garreg Mach. It's Rhea's home camp. Like, there's no way that's possible. So instead, what had happened was Claude's grandfather, Hilda's father, Marianne, or Edmund, okay, all of them, they got it. Lawrence's father, of course, who probably chose to side with them. But it's weird. Well, none of the other... This is how Edelgard got some nobles to follow her? I thought it had been set up in advance. Whatever this manifesto states, it...
As for us, I'd like your opinion on how we should be positioned within the army.
Okay. Shields? I don't think Edelgard wants to hear that.
Your Majesty intends to fight alongside the Professor, correct? In that case, you will not be incorporated into the Empire's main army. Your squad can move freely about the battlefield under supervision of the Imperial forces.
Supervision?
That would be most prudent.
Well, I guess, yeah. I mean, I'm not head of the chain of command of anything right now.
Now that I'm the Emperor, we can't let it slip that I'm following your command in battle, Professor.
You are?
I fully object to the notion of you fighting on the front lines.
Hubert, we've already discussed this.
My apologies. I overstepped.
I must agree with Hubert on this. I did not say that. I gotta agree with Hubert on this. It's for the same reason I was thinking about Petra. It's risky for especially if you're trying to lead the preceding nation.
Now that the details are settled, all that's left is to come up with a name for ourselves.
A name?
In honor of our time at the Academy, how about we call ourselves the Black Eagle Strike Force?
I love it.
I'm so happy you feel that way. I must confess that I spent all night thinking about it.
Oh, don't think I don't see this ship and stuff the game is doing.
I'll leave it to you to prepare the Black Eagle Strike Force for departure.
All right. It just doesn't make... Wait, actually, where are we? Now that I think about I'm gonna speak to the team, right? Is this like a new area? Or is it the Abyss? Oh, wow.
Intriguing.
Okay. Well, let me say, in this route, I decided if I was gonna do this, because I also thought about this for a long time. If I'm gonna do this, and I'm going to keep my sanity as well, there's something I had to do.
My blood compels me!
Let's bring them down!
I'm on a roll!
Don't you know who I am?
This is what I do. We do this together!
They're here. All of them. That's perfect, actually. I didn't even see Leonie I didn't see her over there. Randolph, too, huh? Oh, yep, that's my team. Right there. Lysithea, Leonie, Raph, Ignatz, Lawrence. Ooh, Constance is talking to Edelgard. And Marianne. Why is she by herself? What the heck happened? I need info. But I'm gonna talk to him. So yeah, what I was saying, originally I was gonna have them fight on the battlefield to help show the weight of what Edelgard's decision was. But to be honest, I just kept thinking about it and I was like, there's no way. There is absolutely no way I would have chosen this route on my own. Nothing Edelgard did up until that point convinced me to choose her route. It's almost like I'm having to play her route to see why choosing her route was a good idea. But my home was the Golden Deer. They are my team. I keeping them. I don't think people can understand. I was playing permadeath for a year. I literally made sure to get all the rest I needed, to make sure I was well fed, to make sure I was in top condition. If I was even the slightest bit sleepy, I would not record because I would hate myself if they died because of that. Keeping them alive has been my #1 goal. So regardless on if it makes sense for the route or not, I'm keeping them safe. And maybe we'll hear some different perspectives as well. When Hilda and Claude appear, I will prioritize them. So
To think things would come to this. Even a few months ago, I never could have imagined it.
yeah,
I believe in you, Professor. So I'm steeling myself.
look, it's just whatever side I'm on wins, man. So I will keep you safe no matter what.
I can't promise that I'll be useful in battle, but I'm not running away from the fight.
It's alright. And yeah, there's no way, after seeing Edelgard with her own class, there's no way she would have convinced any of the other team members.
No need to worry about me. I got no complaints as long as my little sis is safe.
See, Raph, that's honestly what I was worried about, man. We don't know that.
Sure, I lived on Alliance land, but that doesn't mean I serve their lords.
And yeah.
I'm sure this is the right path, seeing as you're the one who picked it, Professor.
Don't tell me that. I hope nothing befalls her.
Professor,
Now you, I'm not worried about.
if the church is behind the current state of things, this society in which only crests are valued, then I have no need of it.
Makes sense.
Edelgard is taking the shortest path to change. No matter how drastic her measures, I agree that this is the only way.
And I actually heard this in Fire Emblem Heroes. It was a mistake. It was the first thing that popped, and she just said, I agree with Edelgard. So, yeah.
That said, if Edelgard strays from her noble path, I trust you will set her straight again. Won't you?
Yeah.
I am counting on you, Professor.
Professor.
Leonie?
So, you've turned against the Church to ally with the Empire too, huh? I've never pressed him for details, but Captain Geralt was always suspicious of Lady Rhea, wasn't he?
Oh, that's where you're coming from.
I'm on your side no matter what. I promised him I'd support you, and that's what I plan to do.
He was. Though I would have liked a little bit. That line Rhea said at the end's got me worried. If she had anything to do with Citri, then, like I said, that changes everything. Well, I mean, of course she did, but like...
That's,
Okay.
Professor.
Though, honestly speaking, I do not think there is any way Leonie would have joined us if I hadn't, so... Annette?
Professor?
Yeah?
I'm okay with fighting whoever we need to, but I really don't want to battle my father.
That makes sense.
Oh, but I know that something is wrong with the Church.
I know.
And more than that, I believe in you, and I trust your word. You lead, and I'll follow.
I'm just trying to keep you safe. I was selfish in that matter, but... Oh yeah, the Ashen Wolves are all here. Okay, we'll get to them. Marianne?
Imagine making half the world your enemy for the sake of realizing your own ideals. Edelgard is so radiant and strong compared to someone like me.
It's okay, Marianne. You have your positives too.
What if I have the power to change the world too? Even just a little bit.
Well, this is still part of my old team. Bernie's been there from the beginning as well.
I don't even get my own room here. At least I had that at home.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But speaking of home, Hubert told me something.
Yeah, what
He said my father was stripped of his title.
Huh.
I guess he did as he pleased and opposed Edelgard.
So you must be happy about that.
Wait. Does that mean my father's going to be home all the time now?
I actually didn't think about that.
On second thought, I think I'm fine right here.
Which, another thing I've been wondering about is, where does Bernie's paralock happen? I've had her all this time and it's never showed up. The only unit I haven't had is Petra, so it is possible that Petra's part of that reason, but like if Petra and Bernie shared theirs. But I've also been wondering if it's just a Blackie or Edelgard's route exclusive. Okay. Alright, yeah, let's make our rounds. Oh, actually, I want to talk to Mercedes first.
yes.
Is Yuritsa here, actually? Oh, no. Before that, Ingrid.
I may return to Galatea territory and try to convince my father to join our cause.
Yeah, that whole manifesto changes everything.
It's possible that... No. In my heart, I know that my father won't listen.
Yeah.
Still, I must get him to see reason. That this is the only way to ensure our family's future.
Now that's an interesting perspective, Ingrid. That's an interesting perspective on why she would join. Because honestly, I was kind of wondering about that. If I've joined, like, what was like she said, or I've joined, it's curtains for everybody else who stands against me. Which honestly, truly, I do think that's still saying that the goddess's will has influence. So, you know. Anyways, I mean, Celtis didn't do anything to me, alright? I'm still in her corner. And I do believe she tried to help people. Ray is the one that's, you know, interesting. Mercedes?
Surely this is what the goddess willed, isn't it? I feel she would not have wanted the Church of Saros to become what it has.
Yeah. Celtis did express Yeah, exactly what I was saying. Yeah, boom, bam, perfect description. Celtics didn't want that. Now, as you might notice, Sylvain, Ash, and Felix aren't here. There's a reason. Point being, can I show it now? I don't think I can. My points. Simply put, I ran out. I could only get either Ingrid or Ash. I wanted both of them. Sylvain and Felix actually would have just joined me normally. I don't actually need any points for them. But leaving Ash, I just felt it was meant to be. So I actually only got Ingrid because she's also been there since the beginning. I decided I would save those who have been with me from the beginning, and then I'd have the Blue Lions, the remaining ones, to help drive the point home. Because I don't need all the golden deer for that. I just need Claude and Hilda, and they're there. There's no way I can bring them here. I think this is probably one of people's biggest arguments, is that Claude and Dimitri would have had to have seen the manifestos and disagree. No, because Dimitri also, that's the thing. Dimitri also couldn't have ever seen this because he had a meeting with Edelgard specifically to ask her, why'd you start the war? So no, as far as I'm concerned, this manifesto thing, either it's a Black Eagle only thing, or Claude and Dimitri and Hilda and Dedue never saw this. Because otherwise their actions later don't make sense. Claude asking Rhea what's up, and then Dimitri literally risking a meeting and asking Edelgard why she started the war. Logically speaking though, it does make sense for her to do this. So I wonder if that's something the game just did to... Because in my honest opinion, if Edelgard did do this, then you'd have a more reluctant Claude, and Dimitri certainly wouldn't think she's responsible for stuff. Or maybe not.
Okay.
Because if Dimitri hadn't run into her and seen she was a Flame Emperor, and instead read that document first, I think it would have calmed him. It's basically like what I was saying, talking to her. So anyways.
I'm a soldier, but I had to think long and hard about this one. Since birth, I've believed in the teachings of Saros without ever questioning them. But Her Majesty's words are true. To think that the Archbishop can take on such a monstrous form.
Well, I mean, she isn't a monster, though you wouldn't know that. There's just... Oh, I miss Lawrence. Yeah.
I've decided to ally myself with Lady Edelgard. Father will doubtless understand my reasoning.
Well, yeah, your house already joined him.
House Gloucester has always had good intentions in its dealings with the Empire. Of course, this does mean I will no longer be able to avoid a confrontation with Claude. It is unfortunate. We were classmates after all.
But it just doesn't make sense. If we knew this, why would we... Like, it never came up. Alright, let me talk to the Ashen... Well, no, let me talk to the rest of the Black Eagles first.
Right.
Then the Ashen Wolves.
Right. That could have gotten dangerous fast. If I stayed at the monastery, I would have had to fight my father.
True.
We aren't especially close, but he's not an opponent I'd want to face.
You mentioned that multiple times.
I'd almost rather fight a monster. Anyway, it looks like he's going to be leading the Western units. I wonder if we'll wind up fighting the Kingdom's army, and who decided to fight for the Church.
Yeah. Good question, Caspar. Linhart.
The most important nobles in the Empire are known for taking power from the previous Emperor, my father included.
Correct.
I didn't think it possible that the Imperial Princess would ascend the throne so easily.
Again, correct. That's been something I've been thinking about.
However, it seems that both my father and Caspar's are supporting Edelgard. Having both the Minister of Domestic Affairs and Minister of Military Affairs on your side gives you total control over the Empire's military and finances.
That is true.
You must have been making preparations for quite some time without anyone noticing.
Oh, I heard Linhart say this exact thing before, but now I think I get what he means. Maybe Caspar's father and Linhart's father only went along with the other nobles' plan. with Ferdinand's dad's plan. And then, but their loyalties were always to the crown. And then helped Edelgard later. Maybe.
Teacher.
But let's see. Yeah. Hey man, how you doing?
I asked Edelgard what happened to my father. He was dismissed as Prime Minister and is under house arrest in the Imperial capital.
So she did dismiss him officially that moment.
He always was a greedy, arrogant man. Some would say that this is the fate he deserves. And yet I cannot help but feel indignant. After all his hard work for the Empire, to be disgraced like this.
But he wasn't doing a good job, man.
I am conflicted, Professor. I do not know what to do.
But it's okay to be conflicted. That's your dad, after all.
As the next Duke Ire, should I follow
What?
Edelgard into battle?
You're the next Duke? I thought she wouldn't appoint Ferdinand. Alright, so I'm gonna come in here for just a bit, because you may have noticed me in the past and continuing to do it in the future talking about if Edelgard convinced the Black Eagles or not. Normally, that would have never have been a problem for me, because this has to do with what I was saying about saying too much about defending Edelgard. I made a comment about saving the Black Eagles in the Golden Deer route, and it seemed like people took it to mean that I thought Edelgard was brainwashing them or forcing them into the decision that they had no control over. When my first priority was just literally like saying, no, just actually save them. But Ferdinand's conversation right here is important, because it is strikingly different from the one he said in the Golden Deer. Let's play the clip.
And my father, he was stripped of his role as Prime Minister.
Wow!
As a result, House Ire has lost all of its power, all of its lands. We have lost everything. What do I do?
Don't worry, alright? You'll have a place with us. Dadgum! I just don't feel like I can judge her actions completely because I don't know. Ferdinand was one of the main people that got me thinking I have to save him, because I literally thought Ferdinand had no other option. Keep in mind, I had no idea who his father was. You know, I had no idea what the crimes he committed. I just knew Ferdinand he didn't have anywhere to go. And since he wasn't in my class, that means he didn't have any connections in any of the other nations. So Ferdinand had no choice but to go back to the Empire. And based on his position where he was guarding the bridge, I almost felt like it was, should I say, putting him on the front lines? Well, either way, it didn't give me the best impressions. So when people defended that, I was thinking that, alright, one, Edelgard must continue to be the house leader, because at that point, I didn't even know if you could join Edelgard or not on her quest, because Fire Emblem had never done something like this. I'm a veteran, right? And they've never done something like this. So I was thinking you could even lead the Black Eagles without Edelgard. And surprise, surprise, you actually can do that. I was noticing the signs of this earlier on. So when people were speaking against that, then I got my expectations up and I was saying, okay, then if that's the case, either one of two things must happen. A, the Black Eagles must voice that they wanted to go with Edelgard before the choice happens. Or B, Edelgard manages to convince them herself before the choice happens. Or at least an attempt was made, you know? But none of that happened. It went pretty much like I thought it would. I made the choice, the Black Eagles followed me, and then they had their own reasons for doing so. But you can take the Black Eagles with Edelgard or without. So I was just trying to explain, that's why I've been so fixated on whether people join Edelgard or not, because I've just been trying to validate how I was feeling back in the Golden Deer route. Ferdinand's line, this is where it all started, alright? Anyways, let's get back to the episode. There's some things I need to find out.
Black Eagle Strike Force, eh? I like it.
Hey, you ain't a part of it.
It's really a twist of fate that brought me to this side of things, but I'm still proud to be here.
Or maybe you are, I don't know.
Hey.
Now these two.
Edelgard became emperor and raised an army, huh?
What?
Who knew the kid had it in her?
You're literally saying the same lines.
I mean, yeah, Yeah, of course, I knew she'd be Emperor eventually, but...
Like, I think, even regardless of what route I chose, Dorothea says this.
The more I think about it, the more surprised I am. I wonder who's gonna win.
We will not lose.
Thinking about it makes me scared. We're fighting the Knights of Saros. Still, I know you'll figure something out.
Then I think that's scary. Catherine, maybe. Wait. Oh no. I didn't think about something. I gotta check the roster. I'll check it after I speak to Petra.
The Empire and Bridget were once warring with each other. But now, I have made the decision to be fighting with the Empire. It is a choice of irony, I feel. But I am having no regrets. My belief is with you, and with Edelgard.
That's an interesting thing. Okay. I'm worried, but... Alright. So, we have the Black Eagles. Mercedes, Annette, Ingrid, Lawrence, Raph, Lysithia, Ignatz, Miriam, Leonie, and... Hanneman, Manuela. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. Where is she? Is she not here? Where's Shamir?
Okay.
And Aloise, thinking about it. I was worried I wouldn't be able to... I was able to convince him, I guess. I knew that there was no way for Catherine to be here. Which makes sense. Her loyalty is too strong to Rhea. Cyril as well. Okay. Balthus.
What's the deal, pal? You don't want me here? Come on, have a heart. This side is where all the action is.
Okay, that's fair, I guess.
Look, I'll level with you. I want to help that Edelgard gal achieve her goal. I mean it. If Her Majesty gets what she's after, my mother will... Forget it. Now's not the time. We've got to keep our heads in the game so we can win, yeah?
Well, that's interesting.
Having Yuri on our side will help things. He's not someone you want to have as an enemy.
Would you have said that if I didn't grab Yuri? Or will they just join me regardless? I already know what Happy's gonna say.
With the Empire taking over Garreg Mach, I wonder what will happen to Abyss.
That's fair.
Some people have spent their whole lives there. For their sake, I hope Abyss doesn't get trampled into ruin.
Now that's my Happy. I promise to protect them.
Thanks. You should try talking about it with Eddie. I mean,
Eddie?
Majesty. She might listen to you.
Yeah, I guess.
Also, this is less important, but if somebody trashes my room, I'm gonna be mad.
Fair. See, Happy's worried about what I would be worried about if I was in this position. Casualties. I'm gonna do my best. Happy? Do you not remember the combo? Like, do you not remember the combo? Alright? We won't have any casualties as long as we have... Where is she? Yeah. Oh, right there. Right there. The warp combo is strong. I'm gonna do my best to make sure. Okay. Constance. Whoa, maybe I should wait for Constance. Let's do Yuri first.
Surprised that I'm here, are you? I know a winning side when I see it.
Oh, that's fair.
I mean, there's no way I'd risk my neck and my people by willfully joining a losing battle.
Yeah, that's fair. You really care for them.
We'll see how this all shakes out. All depends on how we, and you, fight. Regardless of who comes after us, even if it's the Knights, we've got you on our side, so it'll all be fine.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence, Yuri. Hubert?
It is not up to Her Majesty to bring the students to our cause. That task falls to you.
So you admit it.
Those who have forsaken their homelands to join the Empire will be feeling vulnerable.
Yeah.
You are uniquely able to provide emotional support. Please use that gift to guide others down the path that Lady Edelgard has laid before us.
I like the synergy I'm seeing from you, Hubert.
I ask you to do this from the bottom of my heart.
Alright. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Alright? Birthday, buddy. Sure, I can be all calm now. it's when I face Claude that I'm gonna have an issue. But we'll see. We'll see.
I knew nothing of Lady Edelgard's past or of her innermost feelings.
Yeah, how could you?
But I know now. I persuaded her to tell all.
Oh, you did?
It would have been rude to hound her relentlessly until she revealed herself, yes? Then that's certainly not what I did.
I was about to say! What the heck? That's the only way you could have done that. Is that everybody? Oh no, I'm missing. Wait. Oh yeah. I skipped them earlier.
Okay.
But there's somebody else. Who?
Yes.
Oh.
To be frank, I'm not sure whether I should believe all that Edelgard says. But if her words are true, I think it's best to be her ally. So I'll fight. I'm not at ease with that decision just yet, but I'll stick by it.
You know, thinking about it, it's really not the dude that Edelgard would have to convince, it's just Dimitri. The dude would follow Dimitri wherever he goes. Okay.
Yes. I have heard the name Lord Vestra mentioned among the purged noble families of the Empire.
Yeah?
He's Hubert's father, but Hubert seems rather unconcerned about it. That alone is why we soldiers find Hubert quite frightening.
That's fair. Like he legit, I think, took care of his father himself.
Okay. I came this far mostly on impulse, but I wonder if it was the right choice. Everything will be okay, right, Professor? I'm not wrong, am I? If I know that you think it's okay, I feel like it will be easier to believe in myself.
Well, I mean, I'm not completely sure. But we're in this together. Now you two, this is interesting. I have seen you two on the battlefield so many times. In fact, the one who took out Ladislava is just right over there. But, okay.
I'm Randolph von Berglies. I'm not very high in the ranks yet, but I'm more or less a general.
I am familiar.
Just like Caspar, I'm from House Berglies.
I am also familiar with that.
My mother married into House Berglies after I was born, so my position within the family is rather lowly.
Oh, really?
But I'm determined to make something of myself in this battle to bring glory to my part of the family, for the sake of my mother and sister.
Nah, I'm gonna be frank, Randolph. I don't care about your sister. If she died, I ain't go. Look, we got beef. But, okay. Alright. I respect the drive. I respect it. Still not sure on how I think about his leading style. And it's interesting, he's not blood related to Caspar. But, he does act like him. An older version, I feel.
I believe that this is the first time we have met. My name is Ladislava.
Oh, no. No, we've met. Don't worry about that.
I have the great honor of leading Lady Edelgard's personal guard.
Really? Who are you to her? Because you said she owes you a debt.
Her Majesty is as hard on others as she is on herself. She may seem composed, but that is only because she conceals her more passionate emotions.
Uh-huh.
For that reason, she is often misunderstood. But now she has you by her side.
Y'all really trying to ship us. Stop that.
I find that most reassuring. I look forward to working with you.
We'll see, Ladislava. I can't say I'm fully on board quite yet. Well, I mean, I'm committed, but like, I will. Are they? They're not. Yeah, like I thought, they're not in the party quite yet. Wait, Shamir? Oh, I guess yeah, that would make sense. It has to unlock now. And Eloise got his rank with Petra. Shoot, should I see some of these? Edelgard and Lysithia's B. Hubert and oh right, Shamir. Oh, our B. Huh. Alright, Edelgard, you're last up.
We will join forces with the main army and attack Garrigmach. It's a fortress built on steep ground, but it's never seen battle. That means we don't know much about it from a military perspective. But if we use all of the power at our disposal, we will capture it.
We have to try.
From a purely mathematical standpoint, we most certainly have the power to win.
Yeah.
If the battle becomes a clash of beasts within human strength, you will be our only hope. I believe in you.
So where are the Agarthans?
I'm relying on you to lead the Black Eagle Strike Force to victory.
Are they just not here? Okay.
Right.
Now, legit though, this gotta be the Abyss, or at least another, or this could be where Miquelon was, a place close to it. It feels like it. There's no way this wasn't a map. Okay. I feel like I should do those supports now, but I need to go eat, so I will be right back. Okay, so I had planned to just take a small break, but it's actually a different week. I think this is still the same episode. Had a lot of time to think as well. Though I haven't seen Constance's conversation with Edelgard yet. So, where should we begin with our supports? Shamir and Hubert, Alois, Petra. Well, I can get this out of the way. That type of conversation does not fit this environment. Only me. Okay, we'll save Edelgard for last. Let's try Petra and Alois.
Alois!
Ah, who goes there? Oh, Petra, it's you. You appeared out of nowhere.
Did I just get this?
I have a question to be asking you.
Sure, I don't mind. I'll answer your question.
You are always surrounded by people. When you speak, they smile. I feel envy. I want to know the secret to having a happy conversation.
Oh yeah, this definitely wasn't locked.
Ah, you need a lesson on breaking the ice. That's a slippery subject, but I bet we can crack it.
Like, this does not fit this mood.
Now, let's see. Well, the crucial thing is to start conversations. Be proactive about saying hello.
Good point.
Ask questions. Also, it might help to stop sneaking up on people.
She's an assassin, alright?
Start conversations. Stop sneaking. I am understanding. Is there more?
Well, you can always try throwing in a joke to lighten the mood.
That is true.
The trick is to keep trying so you get practice. Put your best foot forward. And try not to put it in your mouth.
She doesn't get that phrasing, Eloise.
What are you saying? Why are you laughing?
Oh, I just made a little joke.
Honestly, making jokes for Petra is gonna be very difficult.
A joke? Can you give me more explanation?
Put your best foot forward. That's an expression people say that means try as hard as you can.
Yeah?
And putting your foot in your mouth doesn't really mean what it sounds like.
It means you said something you wish you hadn't.
When you put your foot in your mouth, you are saying something rude without meaning to.
Yep.
And so, what am I going on about?
Well, no, it helps to help her know what it means.
There's nothing worse than trying to explain a joke.
But she literally has no explanation. I mean, no basis.
Petra, you've gone awfully quiet. I suppose you've lost faith in me as a conversation tutor.
Huh.
You are playing with your words. We do such things in Brigid, too.
Can we get a sample of your language?
In Fodlan, you have a strange way of playing with a word's meaning. I am admiring of it.
You admire me? Oh, Petra, no need to say kind things out of pity. You didn't hurt my feelings.
Am I hurting them?
Oh, do you not get that either?
If you were sincerely complimenting me, then no. To think, you just started learning how to chit-chat, and you've already got a silver tongue.
You think?
You really put your money where your mouth is.
She doesn't get that either, bruh.
More laughing. This must be a complex technique for word playing.
Well, that was nice and happy. Oh, Ferdinand and Constance. Yeah, let's start here. I think this is a good one.
Hello, Constance.
Okay.
Greetings, Ferdinand. My condolences on your misfortune that our paths have crossed again.
Has he met... he hasn't met her in this form. The last time she was normal Constance.
Oh, dear. I am not used to hearing you deprecate yourself like that.
Yeah?
Never mind. Just listen.
If it is an audience you require, I will endeavor to meet that need.
When we last spoke, I was attempting to connect with you, to listen and show you some empathy. But I was so clumsy with my words that I came across as callous and conceited. I hurt you. I know.
Okay, alright, bruh, alright.
The notion that a noble of House Ire could display arrogance is difficult to credit.
Considering that this could only be unlocked after Edelgard took him down... Well, actually, this conversation could have happened regardless of what route it's in, right?
That you even deign to speak to me is a testament to your humility.
Well, either way, by this point, Ferdinand knows that his father is out of power.
As grateful as I am for the honor, it would be best for us both if I take my leave.
No, please, hear me out. Though your words chafed, I see now that they were perceptive. I was being arrogant.
Alright, bro.
I tend to overcompensate.
Huh.
Perhaps I make a fool of myself, bragging about my superiority to Edelgard.
You do yourself a disservice. If you are a fool, then I am folly herself.
You know, it really is a talent. I hate saying it like this, but it's a talent how Constance can deprecate herself.
But you must know that it is no reflection on your sterling quality, Ferdinand. Even in the face of such adversity, you never strayed from the correct path.
If this was the right path, the wrong path hardly bears thinking about.
Well, you've seen the wrong... Whoa, in a different timeline, you've seen the wrong path your father went through.
Still, your kindness has eased my worries a bit.
Which, I'm not sure on if I spoke on that or not, because like I said, it's been a week.
A wise noble once said that life is a series of peaks and valleys, but I have struggled to find the peaks. I was once pushed to the nadir of a valley, and have spent my days confined there ever since.
Well, that's an interesting way of putting it, Constance.
There is little chance that I will ever return to the heights I once knew. But it will not be for lack of trying.
Your persistence is admirable.
It is.
You are too gracious. I see the highest of peaks on your own road. The way is steep, but not long. You will reach it yet. And if my words might reach the ears of a man who has attained such heights, perhaps one who has reached his summit might pull a climber up behind him?
You know, I don't know why that almost got to me. Well, because despite Constance being in this mode, I think this is, her true self speaking right now. Yeah, you could say... I think they're both Constance, right? Like, this isn't a false Constance we're talking to. This is her pain. And she's genuinely asking if he'll help her out.
Such is my heart's desire, unspeakable though it may be.
I think that's what it was. That's the rawest form of Constance's desires that we've seen, I think. Alright. Hubert, where you at? Let's just,
Professor.
Look. You better not say anything wrong to Smear. You got that? Let's go.
What is it, Hubert?
What's up with the music?
Nothing in particular. Just taking a moment to admire your skill with a bow. I'm willing to bet you could put an arrow through the neck of an enemy general from quite a distance.
Yeah, that might have happened more than once.
In fact, to any leader's bodyguard, I would go so far as to say you pose the most dangerous kind of threat.
Okay, somebody literally was talking to me about the fact that Shamir could just assassinate someone, well, a leader in particular. Look, hey, I'm just saying I chose Shamir for a reason, all right? But no, I do not think. Well, in this case, if she did want to take out Edelgard, yes, she would. But she's not a threat to like Claude or Demi. Like they're too far in their own camps, you know. But yeah, I see where Hubert's coming from. I do.
Don't worry your fragile little self.
Oh!
Your lady princess is safe. I wouldn't shoot my employer.
Employer. Okay. I got you. I got it, Shamir.
I would certainly hope not. But there are some mercenaries to whom a contract means little.
Well, that's not Shamir, all right?
And you would do well to remember that Lady Edelgard is no mere princess.
Look, she here. She doing what she needs to do, all right?
You should take care to learn the proper form of address for your employer.
Is she here right now? I don't think so, Hubert.
I said lady.
Yeah!
I already told you. I'm not going to break the princess's contract.
What did I just say?
Oh, you want a piece, Hubert?
Proper address. Right. Next time.
My patience has limits, you know.
I am also noticing my first choice, you know, how she acts. Pretty I'm hoping this is the same episode. No, I'm gonna say it after this conversation.
For the moment, you may stand in Lady Edelgard's good graces.
Look, if Edelgard wants me on her side, we don't touch Shamir, all right? Let's understand that.
But if you become a problem, I will not hesitate to eliminate you.
Not an option, Hubert, unless she were to assassinate Edelgard, but that's not gonna happen.
You're unstable, Hubert. Be careful who you threaten.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't take kindly to those who get in the way of my contracts.
Is that a threat?
Yes, it was.
Just some advice.
Yo, why does Hubert... I'm telling you, there's something about this. All right, what is it? No. You know what it is? It's good daggum writing. All right, let me say this. The first thing, Edelgard von Hresvelg is a well-written character. Okay? Let me start off... Well, actually, you know what? I haven't even seen these two, so I might put my foot in my mouth. Because these are two of the ones I'm most interested in. Nevertheless, I think she's a well-written character. And Hubert as well. I think the very fact that the people I am choosing, both in the Golden Deer and the Black Eagles, Hubert, he's trying to do something. Nah, this man, and we supposed to be born on the same day. Whoever said that, birth dates have merit on your personality, look at this. Look at me and him, all right? Nothing. Almost can't believe this. But, yeah, so what I'm saying is, I don't know what I've said. I imagine I would have mentioned how people's influence made me affect the more, like I said, the more people tried to defend Edelgard, especially when there was literally nothing to say. What I mean by that is the Golden Deer route. Like, there was nothing to be said. Did we do anything wrong? No? Then why are we talking? You know, it's like, it wasn't really, it's just us defending ourselves. It's as simple as that. And I did not know nearly as much as I do now. And even now, you know, there was still some stuff in this very episode, I'm hoping it's the same episode, that came to light. Anyways, I like that things, I think the biggest, what I'm trying to say is, I think the biggest thing that helped me in this game is the game itself and Edelgard itself. Many of the things that I thought was the case, Edelgard voiced. So, whereas other people trying to defend her, it's like, you guys stop it. Me and her, we can handle this, all right? That's the very reason I'm on this route to begin with. So, that being said, these two are gonna be tough. Lysithia's been, well...
Those who slither in the dark, it seems, will finally discover their true form. I get the sense that they're in league with the mages who experimented on me as a child. I wouldn't be surprised if Edelgard was subjected to them too.
That's a question. Subjected?
It seems that there are some Shambhala loyalists in Nemesis's forces. As long as they're around, we can expect them to continue with their cruel experiments.
Yeah, that's true. Just because, like, they were above ground doing other stuff, so.
Yes, we have to. It's the only way to ensure nobody else will go through what I went through. We must obliterate them in the next battle. It's the only recompense for Edelgard's death.
You probably saw me add the clip in of Lysithea and her interesting stuff that she said about Edelgard. Let's see. Let's just dive in. What's this conversation?
Edelgard, do you have a minute?
I would think... Can I change my clothes? I don't think I can. But, well, not my clothes, but everybody else's. This conversation can't even take place in this area, so why are we here?
You want to speak with me? How unusual. Please, come in. I'll prepare some tea for us.
Nah, this is weird. They can't be at Garrick Mock right now.
Have a seat. Would you care for some cake?
Cake? You don't know her. You absolutely don't know her.
Yes, please. I never say no to sweets.
Because if you knew that, well, actually, she could have planned it, knowing this in advance. I was just thinking, you know, it's not a question for Lysithea. Give her the cake.
They're from Enbar. A bit too sweet for my own liking.
Oh, that's even better.
Isn't that the whole point of cake?
Yeah.
Well, more for me. These are fantastic with this tea.
I will say it is interesting to see these two interact because I literally think they're the only ones with this situation in the world.
True. Well, there's no shortage of them. Help
Whoa.
yourself to as many as you like.
Whoa, that sounded too warm. What was up with that? What was up with that?
Now then, you wish to speak with me?
Like, it almost seemed like they're siblings for a second.
So, I can tell you know a fair bit about me.
Please, Lysithea, be careful on the noises you make.
Maybe this can wait until you've finished eating?
Edelgard, you know a fair bit about me, don't you?
What made you come to that conclusion?
What in particular?
For example, the fact that I have 2 crests.
Oh, that's hard to believe.
Again, doesn't this, like, shouldn't everybody know what she has at this point?
No need to play coy with me. It won't work. It's clear my body has succumbed to the intense pressure of bearing 2 crests. Due to the immense requirements of bearing these crests, my life expectancy is painfully short. You know all of this, right?
Actually, this is the first I'm hearing of it. How would I know unless you told me?
You could have came to the conclusion, though.
Still won't drop the act, huh? Despite how obvious you've been with your concern about my health, you're certainly consistent.
Yes, she is. Thankfully she is, because if she was not consistent, then we would have a problem. But, yeah.
I'm not really in the mood for these games. Given your rank, you certainly have access to all kinds of information that others do not. Clearly, you'd have heard all about me.
I'm guessing this was locked because it technically would happen before Edelgard does this. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Okay, so yeah, I'll say this. Perhaps this conversation happens before Lysithea makes her choice to join Edelgard. If that would honestly make me feel a lot better.
Either way, I know now since you just told me. About your 2 crests, your physical weakness, and your short life expectancy.
It does seem like Edelgard does not have some of the same drawbacks, because if anything, people seem to imply Edelgard is physically strong. Literally just, you know, strength-wise.
However, according to the principles of crest research, it's impossible to bear 2 crests. Unless you've undergone a blood reconstruction surgery. Is that the case, Lysithea?
A blood reconstruction surgery.
Correct. It wasn't as though I had a say in any of this.
That's the first time it's been given a name.
I see. So you've lived through that relentless terror and agony, and survived.
You speak of all of this as though you understand it on a personal level. Edelgard, have you?
You're a good friend, Lysithea, and a valuable member of this army.
Okay, never mind. How can this possibly happen inside Garrick Mott? Gang, come on now. I know it's like a small thing, but it's a thing. Like, they could have had the conversation down there, couldn't they? Or I guess, you know, it could have also happened post-time skip. I think that, but then wouldn't this happen like in the... Either way.
So I won't have you overexerting yourself. I don't want to lose you. Understand?
I understand.
Good girl. Oh, and if
Good
you like
girl.
those cakes, why not take some with you for later?
I mean, yeah, she's younger, but like not...
There's no need to pander to me. But yes, I'll take those. Thanks.
That's a scary look. But yeah, like you don't bring in the age thing. Oh, did she move in response to the conversation? Did Leonie move? I didn't notice that. I'm gonna have to look back at that. Well, in that case, we're going to Edelgard next.
Professor.
Or last, I should say. So that had to have happened after this. Well, that's a shame. It would have been nice if the ranks that we had, if something in them, I almost think the game, it's like Edelgard couldn't influence everybody because then our importance would be diminished. Because if Edelgard was able to convince her team, then and I took some of them away, then it wouldn't be as realistic, I guess. But then there's Hubert. Either way, alright. This is our final pre-time skip support.
Ugh, I'm so sick of it all.
What's with the song?
There is so much to be done, yet all I encounter are new problems and pitfalls.
See, another thing games do, which it's good on the game, but from somebody who's analyzing this, you're trying to tell me how to feel with the tracks. Don't tell me how to feel, game. I mean, that's your job in general. I know the game has to do that. I'm just saying, this isn't how I'm feeling right now.
Sometimes I wish I could spend just one day doing absolutely nothing and gorging myself on sweets.
Like, you gotta understand, when Edelgard's telling me this, I'm like, we about to body people I cared about. This isn't exactly the type of conversation I want to hear right now. Such are the burdens of an emperor.
You sound just like Hubert.
What?
Am I not allowed a fleeting moment of self-indulgence?
Honestly, Edelgard, if I was in your position, I wouldn't. This is my whole thing. If I decide I'm about to take down people, especially if I know many of them are good people, like she told me in her own words, you know? Again, Edelgard has validated my own feelings because she said it herself. So in that case, I wouldn't want a single moment of self-indulgence. From the moment I decide, or rather I condemn all those people to death, I would make it my life's goal to make sure it's not in vain. Moments like that, I mean, I wouldn't feel right.
But Hubert would never allow it.
That's too bad.
Indeed. It may not be possible now, but one day we will know the joys of idling. Mark my words.
Again, I got mixed feelings on that. Like I said, if it were me at the end of this, honestly speaking, I would expect some horrible fate to befall me. Like, I would be offering myself, taking on, you know, all these crime. Well, because yeah, there are crimes that are definitely being happening, right? Well, crime is relative, right? And honestly, war crimes. Well, anyways, I'm not gonna go into that. Point is that I wouldn't. That would not be what moves me forward. I would be thinking of others and not myself at the end of this.
Is that a smirk I spy? Is it so amusing to you, me daydreaming of free time?
Yo, they trying to ship this so hard. I see you, gang. You misunderstand me.
Your silly grin says otherwise.
For some reason.
But let's put all that aside for now.
Yo!
There is something I've been meaning to tell you.
Okay, now we gonna speak it. Whoa. I might be dismotivated depending on what Edelgard says right now. So yeah, let me just say it right now, okay? I think one thing I've been worried about, especially when it comes to, well, no, only when it comes to female characters, is if some people are blinded by their love. For me, it's never been a problem to criticize those the characters that I care about. And this game is certainly not helping. I mean, it helps in the sense of, on the plus side, Edelgard's well written. She has good points, you know. So I know that many of you all in the comments, you've been rational about this. So that is definitely not the case for most of you there. All right, let me say that. Most of you in the comments, you're not. I don't like using this word, so I'm not gonna say it. You know, 4-letter S word. But on the other side, for many others in the Fire Emblem community, yeah, I don't know. All right, this game is pushing this too hard. It's like, yo, if you want this, you can have it. All you have to do is say the word.
I'm afraid this might sound a bit sentimental.
Like, what is
However,
this?
I want to thank you. Because of you, I feel I can walk my fated path without losing myself.
Without losing yourself. Once again, Edelgard, you're confirming my suspicions. Okay.
If I were alone, I might have lost perspective and become a harsh leader with a heart of ice.
I rest my case. I rest my daggum case. The heart of ice is what I saw on the other paths. And I can't forgive her. Not in this route. Not in this route. So she's got some work to do. And once again, for the last time, I feel, for this arc, don't try to defend her. I understand that you guys maybe not like me talking about Edelgard, but she is the best one to convince me. Her route is the best way to convince me. If I hear it from you all when there's literally nothing that I see that makes sense, because in this arc I've barely had any interaction with Edelgard. I don't know the things that she's seen. I don't know what drives her to do what she does. And I'm not supposed to know. Not for this arc. Let Edelgard defend Edelgard. But for right now, I can't forgive her for the rest of this arc. That's not under any attack of anybody else. I'm not saying that she is beyond forgiveness. I have yet to make that particular decision. I just... Shoot, man! That's all I wanted to say! I would honestly, and I have so many problems with Edelgard, if it was just me and her. Then other people come in and try to defend her. It's like, look, she's saying it right now. You want me to dislike her?
But I'm not alone. With you by my side, I'm somehow free to be not only a leader, but simply Edelgard.
I see. You have many allies.
True. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by many wonderful companions.
Mm-hmm.
Nevertheless, you are different from the rest.
I know.
Until now, no one has been able to surpass me, much less command me.
Really?
I have always been seen as an untouchable princess or emperor.
If you had said queen there, no comment.
No one spoke to me as an equal or met my gaze without flinching. It was lonely, terribly lonely. The only person I could rely on as I tried to claw my way out of the darkness was myself.
I see.
But you have been a brilliant light. Somehow you have chased the darkness away. And for that, I will always be grateful.
I see. I ain't gonna lie, alright? I ain't gonna lie. That was nice. all right? But I ain't one of them dudes, all right? Understand? I'm not gonna forget why I'm here, all right? Well, I'll at least say this, all right? I certainly don't blame... Yeah, I guess... So, this has to be all one episode. Let me check my time. Oh, it's gonna be a long one, but... Alright. Let me start off by saying this. Anyone who likes Edelgard, I don't blame you at all. Right? I don't. Especially that... Like, that was RB. That was RB, and me... who's been so frustrated with the situation surrounded by Edelgard. In fact, I thought I had a week between the cut in this episode, and I was thinking when I come back, ooh, I'm gonna have so much to say, and then that happened, and I'm like, okay. Well, honestly, here's the thing. I have more to say when I feel like I need to prove myself. The moment Edelgard confirmed pretty much what I was thinking, in the other routes, I won't be able to forgive her. In this route, maybe we can do something. And the other routes, she was this cold person, right? She was doing all these things that I wouldn't approve of, and admittedly, maybe there were some signs of that in this route too, in the beginning. But now, she has a different path available. None of that I was able to get until literally I chose her side and saw this part. Everything else was like business as usual, Edelgard. Now, again, that does not mean I agree with her on everything. The war itself, we're not done on the war, right? We really haven't. Those supports don't shine any light on the war itself. It's more on Edelgard herself. And I will say, some care came back in that a little bit, but for me, it's just, okay, did I add stuff now? In case I didn't, let me tell you all this then. Edelgard, I've always known or felt that even on the other enemy teams, she felt some type of way about us. I didn't like that.
Facing you, I grow weak.
Really?
Now's our chance.
I wonder why. Perhaps because of our crests? And the reason I didn't is because I wanted her, if she was gonna condemn all these people, I shouldn't be any different, at least from my perspective. You know? I don't want, if you shouldn't have any favoritism if you're doing something like that. And I'm like the biggest threat, I would say. Not Rhea. Like, I don't know how Edelgard took down Rhea, honestly. But I did. Or, no. Scratch that. But she never took down me. Dallas sent me away. But every time I faced Edelgard, I've won. She even said it, you know. I surpassed her. She looks at me differently, so I get she might have respected me, but once it came down to do what she needed to do, I'd rather she commit to that. So, okay, yeah, Edelgard, you just made me. I was really thinking about all these things I'm gonna add. I'm still gonna add some stuff, but okay, all right. So, Black Eagle fans, you know, or no matter what side of the board you're on. Oh yeah, one more thing, because I was talking to my admin, and well, my man Chris. Yeah, this to you, Chris. I want to address it to everybody as well at the same time. Chris thinks that I want to explain to you all just why I was so fixated on Petra. Remember, I killed her. So yeah, let me explain this. All right, there's a show, and for this show is gonna be a spoiler, so I'm gonna probably end the episode with this. But I wanted to tell you all, I actually cut it out of Petra's episode before. Now I think is a good time. There's a show that I watch, and there's no way to avoid spoiling this, so I'm just gonna say the name, and you can, go to the question of the day. I'll leave a timestamp. Attack on Titan. in that show, which I don't know if you've noticed, but whenever somebody was in danger of dying in the Golden Deer route, I used an Attack on Titan theme. And for Petra popping off recently, one of the themes I used was Overlord, because I kind of wanted to keep a villainous theme. But the other one was an Attack on Titan theme for when the character known as Petra was popping off with her teammates. The thing about it is that in that show, Petra ends up dying to, well, the actions of another female, actually, that we had all come to know and care for. And Petra's death, well, it depends on who you ask, but at least for Crew 5 and myself, it was a big deal for us. And we were watching it together in college with some other of our friends. Yeah, that hurt. So when I got to Fire Emblem this time, right? And I knew that her name was Petra, immediately I was thinking, oh no, she's probably gonna die. If I choose the Black Eagle route, she might end up dying. And Crew 5 said Petra was his number 1. He wanted me to save her. Mercedes was his number 2, Marianne was his number 3, back then at least. And yet, despite everything, I genuinely tried, right? I genuinely wanted to save her, and yet...
Oh, really hard? Don't you think it'll be hard?
Yeah, well... But we'll be fine.
Of course you'd say that. Why'd I even ask?
Well, because we have been, and it's me. Only regret. Well, I didn't kill her. So, Canon, she's still out there.
Hi there.
Doing her own thing. I don't have her, bro. I don't have her. Dude. First was the back. Now it's Petra. You just killing my weapon, bro. I tried. It's not that she's dead. She just. Oh. Oh, Petra.
The center is in danger of being taken. We must be ready to protect it.
She's coming to me. There's nothing I can do. Don't fight us, Petra. That's the last technique I know. To just leave you alone while we go for Edelgard. No. I took the entire Golden Deer army. I avoided Petra. And I thought she was safe, only for right at the end, Edelgard to bring her out. When I had decided it didn't matter who was standing in my way at that point, I had taken out too many students, I was going to take them down, and I was going to prioritize saving the Golden Deer, and then Petra shows up in the beginning. I cannot tell you how I felt at that moment. I literally, after I saw her, had called Crew 5 and I told her, and I was like, man, I think I gotta take her down. Then in the Blue Lion route, people asked me I asked if I should get Petra and Hilda, and there seemed to be a reluctance for me to get Petra, so I left her behind on there as well. She is the only unit, besides Hubert, that I didn't use prior to this route, who I knew nothing about, and who I had failed to save.
Okay.
And she is also a sword wielder. So, I say all that to say, Petra was my biggest failure. And for me, she was also one of the biggest, when I took down Petra, that is when my fury for Edelgard reached its highest point. I'm so sorry, Petra.
Professor, I have been thinking about why I came to Fodlan, to the Empire.
And what did you come up with?
I am here to be protecting Edelgard, and to be stopping you.
Okay.
Edelgard, I will not be keeping my promise. Give me forgiveness, please.
Okay, that's it. Edelgard's going down. No remorse. What did I get, Lance? Who? Oh, Seth is with me.
We should be able to get through to the throne room now.
Yeah, we sure can, can't we? No. Dorothea, you're going down too.
This should give us a bit more freedom of movement. Now, how best to attack?
Indeed. Now you got the cold me. This isn't the me you wanted. Because now I have absolutely no mercy in me. So, I'm saying all that to say, I'm using Petra I was using Petra to help keep my mind off of what Edelgard was going to do in the future. That does not mean that Petra is my favorite character. That does not mean that, because, like, if you're talking about Fire Emblem in general, that means you gotta talk about people like Celica. Which, ooh, I didn't mention. Yeah, there's probably one other thing I want to mention too. But, I actually was very triggered with Celica at one point in time, but, you know, or Morgan. You guys don't know Morgan, or maybe you do. Some of you do. Many of you don't. Alright, you don't know. Like, you've seen Petra, right? Petra is weaker than Morgan. You've seen Lysithea, still weaker than Morgan. You have to combine Lysithea and combine Petra together. And then you get the beast that is Morgan, who can literally just stand in the middle of the map. Everyone dies. Everyone dies. Anyways, I'm saying all that to say that I've been focusing on Petra specifically to help me get, or not focus on Edelgard, so we can get to this point. All right. So that's what was happening there. I mean, yeah, sure, I do care for Petra. She's probably gonna be one of my, not probably, like, well, if I end up with Edelgard, let me say this: if I end up with Edelgard, somebody slap me, all right? Because then I feel like the only way for that to happen at this point would be for her to put on the charm too much. While I am starting to understand her more, and while I'm certainly starting to look at her in different lights, the fact remains, well, actually, I don't know. As I said before, I don't know what's gonna happen with Claude or Hilda. If Edelgard spares Claude, we'll talk about that if it happens. But for now, I'm gonna end it here. I imagine this has been a long episode, and thank you to every single one of you who have been watching up until this point. I know it was a lot, but I wanted to make sure everybody's questions were answered. There's still a lot of things that I haven't said, but this will do for this episode. That B rank, I felt it was a genuine B rank. You know, not like Edelgard was liking me more. It's our B rank, and we'll see what happens with the A. All right, I don't know if it'll change much, but because let's not forget. All right, we're literally about to go to the battle, and I might end up killing people that I've, considered allies all this time. Catherine, Flame, Sedith.
Right.
So we'll see. But for now, I'll end it here. Thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully, I made the choice that you wanted me to make, and I'm pretty sure I'm still gonna do the Silver Snow route too. But for now, we're here for the Crimson Flower. So, all your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time. And now it is time for the question of the day. And this was a monster of an episode, so I'm not going to waste time. I'm just going to ask you all, whose reason for joining Edelgard did you like the best? This is including all students, not just the Black Eagles. For example, I really like Ingrid's, because I was wondering what would make her join, and, to secure her family's safety. For me, I think that's a solid reason. So And a lot of the black eels can, you know, just kind of be assumed to have gone along with it, you know? But anyways, with that being said, please post your thoughts down in the comments below, and I will see you all next time.